Welcome to the Packaging Perspective, video and podcast series brought to you by Packhelp. Every episode, we welcome an exciting new brand to learn about what makes them buzz, the trends taking off in their industries, and the fascinating role packaging plays in it all. Hi everyone, this is Magda from Packhelp and welcome on today's episode of the Packaging Perspective. Today we'll be diving into the world of bakery industry. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but according to Euromonitor, the bakery industry in the EMEA region is worth an astonishing 91 billion euros. I mean, it's huge. But what is happening currently at the industry? What kind of trends are driving it upwards? I will be chatting about this and more with our today's guest, Kanita Ramaxhiku, CEO and co-founder of Browniegod. Hi, Kanita. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you so much for accepting the invite.
I'm happy to be here.
All right, so let's start with your own brand, with Browniegod. You started it in 2020 with your brother.
Yeah.
And you grew quite significantly from back then. So if you could tell us a little bit about the history, what happened in the meantime.
Okay, so a bit about the history of Browniegod. I had dropped out of uni, had a bit of a really early midlife crisis, thinking, what am I going to do with my degree? So I dropped out. I knew I wanted to pursue a career in food, but I was just kind of prolonging it. So I decided now's the time. I spoke to my brother, pitched like kind of an idea to him, worked in bakeries to kind of get some experience. And whilst I was in a bakery, any ideas that I had, I'd give them like, oh, I think you guys should use TikTok. I think you should do this. Like, what about this with the packaging? And they're like, yeah, cool. But then nothing ever changed.
Yeah.
So I think after a while of suggesting things, it was like, okay, I have good ideas. Why don't we do this ourselves? So I pitched like a little idea to my brother, a very rubbish PowerPoint presentation.
You did an actual PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah. I was like, I'm serious about this. And I was like, Janice, I have an idea. What do you think of it? Would you help me? And he was like, okay, it's an idea. And my idea was actually in the beginning, so a lot of makeup was coming out at that time, a lot of eyeshadow palettes, and I was really into it, like the packaging, so beautiful. And I always thought, why does food not have that beautiful packaging and it doesn't look amazing? So the idea was like to do a makeup palette inspired like cake box with cakes looking like different colors and it's all like rectangular. And then I showed that to Janice and he was like, well, why cakes? You love making brownies. They're kind of boring as it is. We could do something really cool. So then it started as like a cupcake kind of thing and then it turned into brownies. He introduced all the business side to me. He gave me KPIs, which I didn't even know what that meant before. And every week we had like little reviews of like, you know, me coming up with stuff. Because like we actually started in 2019 and for a few like 6 months, it was just coming up with ideas and trying things and failing at them. So then from then on, we took it really seriously and started actually working on it. We opened an Instagram page, did the website, and I was like, okay, now we wait for the customers to roll in. And obviously that doesn't happen. It doesn't, It's not an overnight. It's not you make an Instagram page and everyone's like, ooh, I want to order. So we were a bit like, okay, what now? We started doing a stall. That was going great. We were opening our second stall and then COVID hit. And we were like, wow, we're finally doing well. Yeah. And now we have this. They sent us an email saying next week the stall won't be open. It won't be open for a month. It will never be open. And we were devastated. In our devastation, we kind of just, in the background, I was doing TikTok with Browniegod, didn't intend on it to do well at all. And then things just started falling into place. So really, it was the biggest blessing in disguise. And from then on, it actually started to pick up and we decided that we're just going to be strictly online and we didn't go back to the markets and we just continued like that.
Such an amazing and inspiring story. How big is your team now?
Now we have like a team of 8, I would say. So we have like marketing, people in the kitchen, including my mom, who we've hired as well.
Oh, so you are truly a
Yeah,
family-owned
family
business.
Every now and then we try to pull in my dad as well. So it's really like family plus extended kind of business.
Using your experience as a jumping off point to trends, I know the baked goods hold special place in a lot of people's hearts. I know I have a special place in my heart for all the muffins, croissants, and pastries. But obviously, there are some businesses who do better than others. Just like you, one business can rise within a couple of months. And I'm wondering, why is that? In other words, what is selling these days?
It's interesting you say that. I'm not sure exactly what is selling, but I think one of the key points that ever since COVID, like what we've been seeing is happening is people really enjoying buying from smaller businesses with people using ingredients that are fresh. They know it was handmade. So I think that COVID kind of catapulted that whole trend where people maybe before were buying for bigger businesses and stuff they knew and relied on. And I think ever since COVID happened, people want to order from these smaller businesses. They want to try and support these businesses, and they feel like they're getting something really personal, really like heartfelt and made personally for them. So I think that's one of the trends we've been seeing. It's not necessarily, like muffins are in or croissants are in. Like, obviously you see those trends coming in and out, but almost those brands create those trends. They create that product that people are like, whoa, I want to copy it. I want to do that too. So yeah, brands create their buzz within their own, niches. But I do think that whole idea of a handmade product has now more than ever been something that people are looking for. Even like bakeries, people want to go to the smaller bakeries, maybe not so much the chains anymore. Yeah. I think pre-COVID, even like decor inside cafes were like pink, like really in your face. Now it's like rustic, like home feel, So I think in that way, the trends are kind of changing in that cozy like vibe people are looking for more so than something really corporate.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can see it, even here in Warsaw, we have more and more, as I call them, specialty bakeries popping left and right. And it's actually pretty cool to see, the craftsmanship that's into it and how people showcase their work and what kind of products they produce. Now, I also feel that more than ever, people are looking for exceptional experiences. Like, you are much more willing to pay more for certain products if there is a certain quality and experience into it. So we look into things that are multi-sensorial, the pastries we're buying, we want them to taste good, but we also want to be in a nice interior while buying it. We want them to sound, if that makes sense, with all the frizzling toppings.
Yeah.
How are you tapping into that trend?
Yeah, so that's an interesting one because in terms of like flavors, some brands, they do like crazy flavors where maybe it's chili and chocolate or like pickles and something. We kind of tried to go down that route and quickly realized that our brand is more of a gifting brand. People are buying for other people. So they don't want to get too adventurous when it comes to the flavors. They want to stick to what they know. They want consistency and they want something that they know the person that receiving it will really enjoy. But when it comes to visually, I think from our packaging to our product, I think there's something that takes people back. Even when I say, someone asks me, oh, what do you do? And I say, oh, I have a bakery with brownies. What they see,
what's the first reaction?
Is like, oh, cute.
Okay.
And then when they see it, they're like, oh, this is not what I expected.
Yeah.
And I think even that experience for when people receive their gifts, maybe they haven't even heard about us because someone has bought for them. When they open it and they see that personalization, they're like, whoa, like this is actually pretty cool. We do things like, now we've introduced photo brownies. So like it's an edible picture of you, of your friend or of a moment. and you can eat that and it's on your brownie. And that's like been like our latest hit because people love it. Like they make like a collage, they put the funniest memories, they go really like wild with it and really adventurous with it. So I think that like even seeing your name on something or seeing your photo, it's almost like a card, but you can eat it. So in my opinion, that's like 10 times better than
Win-win.
Yeah. It's not just a card. It's, you know, it is multisensory because you see it, you read it, you're like, whoa, and then now I can eat it.
I need to say all your brownies look amazing. I'm your Instagram fan. So I see all the beautiful pictures that you take of your brownies. And I mean, I get it that the Instagram appeal of baked goods is something key now. And I mean, it's no brainer because approximately 60% of European consumers are Instagram users. So is word of mouth and people showcasing your products something that was important to your growth as well?
Yes, I think more so than we had expected because it's great seeing a product online. But even if I go from my own personal opinion, if I see something online, you kind of think, is it going to be like that when I receive it? You see a perfect picture. And sometimes I think that's a bit of a flaw with Instagram and kind of why we did really well on TikTok is you see a picture of that end result, obviously taken in a studio. And as a consumer, you doubt it a bit. You think, okay, that looks beautiful, but is it going to be a situation of Instagram versus reality? So word of mouth, even just people posting our products is really helpful because people then get to see actually it arrives in the same condition that it has been sent out in. And especially for a baked good, you know, we get a lot of people asking how, you know, doesn't it ruin in transit? Doesn't the chocolate melt? Doesn't it fall off? And, you know, obviously people have all of these questions to ask before. So if another customer can answer that for you, someone they trust, that's even better. So word of mouth is definitely a very vital thing because if one person says, actually, they were really overrated, you're not going to want to buy it. You know, someone that's tried and tested it, their opinion is very valuable.
Your social media accounts are obviously huge, and for people who are listening and watching us, you need to check them out. How do you use your social media? I mean, how do you decide what kind of content gets to your feed or to your stories? Because you showcase a variety of it. Like you showcase both the brownies you're making, but also a little bit of backstage.
Yeah.
So how do you decide what's going to be showcased on your social media?
When it comes to what we're posting on social media, for TikTok, our approach from the beginning was just sharing what we're doing. You know, my brother actually was the one that told me go on TikTok. And when I started TikTok, my friends started laughing at me. They were like, isn't that the app for like 12-year-olds, you know, when they're doing the dances? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm on it now. So it was very much not like a business decision of we're going to go on TikTok and we're going to dominate. It was, okay, here's how I pack an order. Here's how I cut brownies. Really random things that I thought no one would be interested in, but, you know, I just posted about it. So our first viral video was just me. We would get like 5-kilogram tubs of Nutella and I just put a spoon in and I take the Nutella out. And that was our first viral video, which like literally took me
crazy
10 seconds to do. And I was just like, oh, like this is quite satisfying. The Nutella's like fresh. Let me do this. So then I think naturally seeing that people enjoyed that, giving that sort of transparency that companies wouldn't take that viewpoint usually. Then we just continued with that. And then we were kind of almost even more transparent by showing things that kind of go wrong in the business as well. Because that was a big reality for us. Obviously, neither of us had business experience. My brother has a background in economics. He's very smart, but doesn't have a business experience. So that first year was definitely a lot of tears and disappointment, and a lot of figuring stuff out. So showing people those mistakes, we didn't realize was very valuable because they kind of got to see the human side of a product. I think one of the ideas that I had with our marketing was kind of like a glass kitchen concept. You know, like when you go to a restaurant, you can see everyone doing everything and making stuff. I just thought that concept is so cool because you get to see who's making your food, and you get to see that it's not just, a push of a button. It's someone actually decorated that for you or made it for you. So we definitely do a lot of that. Then, like, especially on our Instagram, it's a lot more just showcasing the product of what have we released that's new, like what's the key thing about this drop. So we like to do a bit of both, where we show behind the scenes of the business, our newer releases, and then like answering questions that people have along the way, or maybe even like things that they think they don't like. We try to, explain, okay, this is how this done. And they're like, how does the brownie make it through transit?
Yeah.
So we like to show it, okay, let me show you. I'll throw this box. So now you can see that it'll last. It'll be okay in transit. So that's like kind of our content. It's just more so we try to show as much of our business as possible. And then I think people become a bit intrigued and then they want to see what this is about. But it's definitely a journey. We have like people that have said, oh, I've been following you for 2 years now, and I finally placed an order. So for us, it's more about building that connection with people. Like ideally, I want people to know us on like a first name basis and feel like they know Browniegod in and out. So that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel already like a part of your family, let's say, given the fact, I've already met your brother in person and like I've seen your mom. I think for the Mother's Day, you posted a picture of a brownie personalized with a picture of you and your mom, wasn't it?
Yeah, like the best way to advertise Mother's Day is me and my mom. We do that a lot. Putting in different aspects and people in the business into our social media.
Yeah, but I think it's brilliant because just going back to what you said earlier, that people want to know who is behind the products they're buying and they want to feel it's local, it's fresh. I think you kind of just prove that by showcasing a little bit of backstage of your production process. One of the trends that is obviously booming is the unboxing trend that I'm sure you're familiar of. Do you see that also with your customers? Do they post unboxing videos? And to follow up on that, was that something you also had in mind while designing your packaging for Browniegod?
Yeah, so very early on, we were really focused on packaging being one of the points to, carry this great product we have. But it was super important to us. So from the beginning, when we started our packaging, we didn't really know what we wanted. But there was a point early on in our business where we would hand make inserts for our brownies, because we were always trying to one up our packaging. How can we make it better and better? So packaging was a really key thing for us. Like we wanted a beautiful product, but then like to put it in just a brown box, it wouldn't do it justice. So definitely, and I think people love our packaging, like the pink. They do a lot of unboxing, which to me is just amazing. I think with our packaging, it was more around the experience of when people open this gift. We wanted them to feel something really cool. So then seeing it online is just like, obviously makes us feel so good. We changed our packaging a lot. So packaging is definitely a big thing for us. In the 3 years that we've been running, we've changed our packaging maybe like 4 times. Like we're on the 5th version now. So we change it a lot. So much so that we had a funny incident where a customer was like, hey, I didn't receive that packaging. It's like, yeah, well.
Oh, wow.
We're changing so fast that I think even our customers are sometimes a bit shocked at how much we're always trying to improve and change to get that perfect packaging. And I've even got some brownies for you here, so maybe you can experience it yourself.
Yay!
Packaging experience.
We're gonna do live unboxing. Okay, let me put this aside so that people see it just fine. So let's do unboxing together, I guess. So you have your social handles so people can go and check you online. There is a name. It's handmade in London. So yeah, again, just playing on the thing we discussed, that it's locally made. Let me just and it's recyclable. So it is also good for the environment. This is really scary, but also very exciting, I need to say. All right. There is a little thank you card. Okay, it's long, so if you could just briefly tell us what's in there.
So it's just a little bit about our company. We've included a picture of us with the team just so people can actually see the faces behind their product. Like one person in that team cut that brownie, the other person decorated it, the other person, packed it. So they get to see who's involved. That's actually our team, not not just a stage of models. And it has a QR code to take you to the website. As I said before, it's usually our product is a gift. So maybe people receiving it don't really know much about us. So we like to include a little bit about us. And then on the back is how you would like to enjoy your brownies. Just like little serving suggestions.
I would go for putting it into preheated oven.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to eat your brownies?
Do you know what? I like just the standard. The chocolate on top, nice and set, and then the fudgy brownie. I like that mix of flavors. I know that Janice, my brother, likes it when it's a bit more melted on the top. So yeah, we've all got a different opinion on how we like to enjoy it.
I mean, yeah, diversity is good. Okay, there's a little tissue paper on it with custom pattern and sticker. A little puffy layer, I guess, to save the brownie in transport. And oh my God, the personalization. I'm not sure if it will be visible, but it says, I love Packhelps. You kind of mentioned it before, the different customization options, but if you could maybe sum it up for the people who don't know Browniegod, what kind of options are there?
Yeah, so you can customize your whole box from box size to flavor to what topping you want on it, what colors, what message. And when I say what message, I really mean it. When it came to Valentine's Day, we had some crazy, very wild messages. So we do accept pretty much everything that isn't super offensive.
All right.
Yeah, so people can really have fun with it. Like playing into that concept of it being like a card. It's going from me to you. So I want to express myself on the brownie. So we let people go wild with it. Do what you will. We've seen some shocking messages, but I think now nothing can shock us anymore.
Yeah, I've seen your Valentine's video with different messages. I don't think we can quote them here.
No.
But if you're curious, just check them online. So the packaging is beautiful. It's good for securing your brownies in delivery. Are you also using some secondary packaging to protect it further in the delivery?
Yeah, so then this box, it gets wrapped with a piece of paper, like padded paper, and then it goes into a mailer box because obviously you don't want the box that it comes in to be the one that's been, in a warehouse and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we like to keep this nice and protected as it has food inside. And then the outer box, that takes the impact. That can take all of the impact that it needs, and this will arrive beautifully wrapped and ready to eat.
Yeah, I've heard you've done some crash tests. Is that true?
Yes, I mean, packaging, we didn't expect this at all, but was our biggest pain point for our company. Like from the beginning, we ordered 250 boxes, paid a ridiculous amount of them because we found just a supplier online and, we went with them. And then we were like, wait a minute, but how are we going to put the brownies in? Started making our inserts by ourselves, then ordered another set of packaging. The inserts were too weak. They were breaking. So it was a lot of back and forth with packaging, and a stressful one. But I think we've gotten there in the end, and we're still improving it to this day. But it's definitely something that we didn't expect. It would be such a battle. Like packaging it's a hidden killer. We wanted the costs for shipping to be low.
Of course.
When I worked in the bakery, we would send with a person, and it was £20. A delivery, which is like maybe 24 euros or something like that, which is a lot. You want to pay that much for the item, not for the shipping. So we send with, standard mail, the same way that your clothing parcel is sent, the same way your brownie is sent. So now, like, whenever we get packaging, it's like, how can I completely destroy this? I'm going to be so brutal with it, take all of my anger out at it, and if it survives, then it'll be great. Like, we've had messages in the past where someone said, hey, I received my package, but just to let you know, I saw the driver throw it over my garden fence like a frisbee. So we really had to be prepared for the absolute worst. I mean, hopefully they don't do that anymore, but, we've just made sure that our packaging can take it. and that people will still receive like their brownies looking amazing.
I'm loving it. That's a very cool example on using packaging to kind of make your product pop also.
Yeah.
So good job, I
Thank
guess.
you.
I'm going to put it aside so no one eats my brownie. You often call yourself a gifting company. I mean, you mentioned this a couple of times during our conversation already, and I think gifts are obviously to celebrate different occasions, right? And as consumers, I think more than ever, we're looking for those different moments of joy to celebrate with others, with family, friends, or loved ones. And during those moments, we're more likely to indulge ourselves. So, how are you using those occasions throughout the year as a brand?
Yeah. So when it comes to occasion, I'm very proud to say that we've extended our list of occasions that we do.
Yeah.
So obviously we do Christmas, Easter, but we do other religious events like Diwali. Eid is a very big one for us. I think that throughout the process, we realized that maybe a lot of different groups of people felt a bit neglected by, the gifting services in general. So when we were releasing stuff for, Diwali, Eid, they were like, wow, like, thank you. And it was strange to me, like, we're being thanked for, creating stuff for these occasions. So I'm really, like, happy that we do that. Obviously, we want to take it the full way. We want everyone to feel represented and feel that they have a gift for their occasion. We want to take that, far and beyond, but we're still working on that. And we're working with our followers to do that, which is actually very fun. We speak to the people that follow us and that know our brand to ask them, like, what do you want to see? Like, how can we make Diwali even bigger for you? Or maybe other events that you haven't spotted us do, you want us to do. So we're really good with that in taking other people's feedback. Like, I always look at the comments that I get under my TikToks. I love to review them and see how people are responding to the things we do. We take it as far as to now, like, we have our own set of molds. So like the chocolate icons that you see, we do our custom set. So for Eid and stuff, where we couldn't find, chocolates to represent those occasions, we created our own. And people have been loving those, which I'm so grateful for. But then other occasions, people make up their own occasions. I absolutely love it. Someone broke their leg. Congratulations. You passed your driving test.
People really do that.
Oh, yeah. Like, have you had a new surgery? Congrats on the new nose, So people create their own occasions, which is super fun. We like to share different and funny messages we get. And I think that inspires people to think outside of the box, not just for birthdays, not just for big events that are more obvious. They like to create their own moments. And that's so special, to be part of those key moments in people's lives. I know it may sound a bit cringe, but it's really, really special to be part of, like, I don't know, your first child. Like, we get to be that gift for you. So it's amazing. We have seen all sorts of occasions and people just create their own, which is amazing in itself.
I think it inspires you to be a part of it, to, make the perfect brownie, to decorate perfectly.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Did you make any brownie with proposal?
Yeah, we've had proposal ones. We've also had breakup brownies.
Oh no!
It was quite funny. We received a comment of, have you ever gotten a breakup brownie? And we were like, no. And then we received an order, want a breakup, ? And we were like, hopefully this is a joke. So, yeah, we from the beginning to the end, we've got the whole lot.
Yeah, and I bet you get to laugh a lot on some of the funny messages.
Yeah, like it makes the job even more exciting, we don't know what we're gonna get.
Yeah.
And that's super exciting in itself. People go wild with this.
It's kind of the same with Packhelp, because we also get a lot of crazy customizations and packaging. I mean, not to an extent that someone's breaking with someone else through their packaging. And also we're more business focused. But yeah, I think it's great to look at from that perspective, that you're a part of someone's special occasion.
Yeah.
Or in our case, you're a part of someone's business and you're helping them grow. What is the most important occasion throughout the year for you as a business?
So far it's Valentine's Day. I think maybe even the amount of customization we allow, then Valentine's Day people have a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun with it. And obviously chocolate with Valentine's Day is just perfect, goes hand in hand. So I think Valentine's Day for sure. Our next thing would actually be Eid, which is a new one. This year, Eid came second in our I don't know, list of what's more popular.
Going a little bit away from the occasions that happen throughout the year, I've seen you also grew in corporate gifting. And so, when did you decide to advertise and communicate Browniegod as a place where you can get corporate gifting, and how is this playing out for you?
So I think we started last year. We had interest from different brands, and then we decided, okay, we need to be a bit more serious with this, create a brochure, show what we can offer. Our level of customization is really cool. And since then, it's been really awesome. You know, you can do your company logo. We have sometimes with different brands, they order a few throughout the year to say maybe happy birthday to someone, or, you know, congratulate them, or like, you know, staff of the month. So that's also a fun concept, is they stay with us throughout the years, where they order for different occasions. We create their own custom product on their own like landing page, so then they can do whatever they want with it. You know, they want to customize it.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that's like been a new thing for us that's worked really well, where a brand will have its own product with its own colors, logos and everything, and then they get to customize it throughout the year and order how they wish. And then obviously when they have events with logos on them and things like that, they work really well. So the corporate stuff has been very new to us, but it's been working really well so far.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I guess it's always good to try to balance your business if you have an opportunity with some end customers, but also business customers.
Yeah.
We were kind of mentioning it earlier that a lot of consumers are looking for transparency in the brands they're shopping from, but also in regards to the food. Like, we want to know who made our food, what are the ingredients that were used, where does it come from, and what's the story behind them even. So do you find that curiosity among your customers as well?
Yes, for sure. When we post a video maybe about how we're making the brownies, our comments is flooded with different questions about each process. You know, from things to how do we store items, how do we bake them. So there's definitely a huge curiosity that we try to inform people about. And we like the curiosity because that builds us more content to post about. So definitely a lot of people have questions, and we like to try and answer all of them to cover our bases. You see how your product is being made. There's no like question about it of, oh, I wonder what practices they use in the kitchen. We'll show you. We'll show you where we keep our products. We'll show you where we keep our ingredients. We'll show you what equipment we're using. We'll even show you who is making them at that time. And then with that information, the customer has everything they need to know. Then they can decide if our brand is for them, or, you know, maybe they decide otherwise. But that's okay. We've shown you transparency throughout, and then you make your decision. We leave it up to them.
What about the transparency about your packaging? Do you also find people being curious about its origins, or maybe some sustainability properties?
Yeah, we definitely got asked even where do we get our packaging from? And for most information, we're quite open, unless it's like a company secret, then we don't like to disclose it. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was once in that position where I had no idea where to buy packaging, no idea where to find anything. So we like to be helpful, but also not disclose our company secrets. So yeah, we get asked a lot about, is it sustainable? And we even get suggestions, which is the best part. You know, before we used to use like plastic bubble wrap, you know, people give us suggestions. They say, oh, why don't you try this? And having that input of, you know, we don't have the experience from opening other businesses because we haven't done that. So having other people help us is just like, you know, it benefits us. So in a way, being transparent it feeds back to us because people help us on our journey. There may be a professional watching our video that, you know, decides to be really kind that day and say, hey, you know, you could check out this alternative. And then we're like, okay, like you've just helped our business crazy and you don't even know it.
But that's amazing because I think one thing is to be open and showcase what you're doing, but it's completely different thing to also, you know, take that feedback and take those comments and try to apply them to your business if you think it makes it better. So I think, well, again, congrats on that, I guess.
Thank you.
As much as I'd love to talk brownies all day, we're slowly reaching the end of our today's episode. And as a form of summary wrap up, I have a round of rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm nervous. Let's do it.
Don't be nervous, please. So there are no rules, actually. I'm just making them up now. Try to answer as short as possible. Again,
Okay.
rapid fire questions. We have one word or one sentence. Don't think that much about it.
Okay.
Should be, you know, first thing that comes to your mind. Ready.
I'm ready.
Let's begin with the first one. What's the most important trend in the bakery industry?
Personalization.
What's your favorite part of delivering brownies to customers?
Their experience.
How has packaging helped you to succeed?
It's been a very big part of our success.
Okay, now finish the sentence. Is there anything you would have done differently when starting out?
No. No. Ignorance is bliss when it comes to business.
All right, loving that answer. Brands that sell baked goods should stop.
Being limited with their offerings.
Something other brands can take as an example from Browniegod is...
How many occasions we cater to.
And how many new you created.
Exactly. Take notes.
Yeah, that's a perfect wrap. Thank you so much for being here, Kanita, and accepting the invite to be a guest.
Thank you. This was actually so fun.
Yeah, it was. And thank you so much, listeners and viewers, for joining us today on the second episode of the Packaging Perspective. If you enjoyed it, please share it with your network, family, friends, share it everywhere. And until the next one. And that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, head over to packhelp.com to keep on exploring the exciting world of packaging.